People. Que pasa, sac passe, what they do. Welcome to Jamaica Dancehall Source, your source for dancehall and our entertainment and news. Now people, it seems as if when it comes to YouTube, I may have the goat mouth, meaning that whenever I speak about anybody, usually them end up in a two place. Them either end up DEAD or down at the big yard. Now people, I spoke about an incident downtown as it pertains to some JDF-Soldier, Jamaica Defence Force soldier. And I said that there were a couple of videos circulating in which the JDF-Soldier and some people in some garrison area in a confrontation. And I made it abundantly clear that, listen, JDF soldiers are not supposed to be doing the job of the JCF, Jamaica Constabulary Force. They can assist them. However, the JCF is supposed to carry out any sorts of operation, not the JDF. Now there was an incident in which a corner place called Charles Street that are down a town. And a young man lost his life. His name is Horaine Grant. There are two conflicting stories. The stories of the residents. Residents said Mr. Grant was going about his merry business when the soldier them come and antagonize him for no sorts of reasons. After the melee, he was cornered up in the stomach. He was taken to the place of recovery. However, you know the script. Too late was the call. Resident them start block the road. All sorts of protests. All sorts of traffic delay. Traffic have again end up over there, so over here, so over there, so everywhere else. So people were inconvenienced. As usual, you know the script. Them put all sorts of stuff on the road. Them burn up all sorts of tire. Rete, lele, blue, blah, bling. Nothing new, nothing strange. Same protocol. So that is the side of the residents. According to what the JCF, JDF military reports are saying, 7 JDF soldiers were on an operation in the area. Walk up and down. Bad man walk. Spot 4 people. Roll up and say, alright, we want a check, we want a search. The people them a hack up. Mr. Horaine Grant, he might behave the worst way. This is according to what the Popo said, the soldier said, not me. Horaine Grant was not taking any sorts of search. So therefore, him take away himself. Him run gone pan Charles Street. Soldier them run him down. While the soldier them are run him down, one lady hold on upon the soldier arm. And I make up the most noise. Then Mr. Grant try disarm the soldier of him. M16, tall up. The soldier said, wait, hold on a minute. At this the boy a diss me. This not gonna happen. Me not gonna make no man take on my tool and then use it against me. So therefore, him crank it up and him let off 4 rounds hitting Mr. Grant in the stomach. Like me say, when you get hit at close range with these sorts of people or things, it never usually ends up because most of your vitals are not going to be useful anymore. So therefore, it turned out in the worst case scenario, as we would have expected. So now people, when we listen to stuff like this, and we see what is going on in Jamaica, and we see that a lot of persons lose their life on the road in these garrisons because protocols are not being followed. And people, I don't know if it is because the JCF is undermanned, overworked, and underpaid. So therefore now they are supplementing the force with these JDF officers who were never trained. That was not part of their training regiment in the training school. So therefore, when them go out, them basically lost. They are not professional. Even though you are supposed to be professional. However, here is what happens in most cases. Whenever you have a set of people, meaning the JCF and the JDF and then the people from the garrison, where there is no sorts of love lost, them pretty much can't get along like puss and dog. Well, at least puss and dog, even if you look on TikTok, some puss and dog get along. No pawpaw and no sorts of garrison person, the average pawpaw and the average garrison person do not get along. So me just say, whenever that bridge of communication is gone, whenever most significantly there is no sort of respect for one another, this is always going to happen. Persons are always going to lose their life. And people, like me say, it could have been prevented had the JDF-Soldier been professional, had the residents been respectful. However, when all of that is gone and you put those two together, it is going to be an epic failure, an exercise in futility. Nothing good is going to come out of it. And people, in this case, we see that was the case. Point blank and period. So people, at the end of the day, a next person lost his life. Oh, just for details, it is said that when this happened this happened because the same lady who run down the pawpaw or the soldier and pull upon him and she also spit upon the officer. And based on what the JDF is saying, Horaine also had a bottle of beer and poured it upon the JDF officer. Now people, I don't know who is going to be in their right mind, meaning the lady, and spit upon a soldier while him have a M16 or 7 of them have a M16 in them hand. And then a next man I go pour him beer, red stripe, Heineken, whatever, upon the officer. People, I am not saying that it cannot happen, but just I say the likely possibilities of that happening is zero, minimal to nothing. Unless, of course, these persons are suicidal. And people, I don't know that they are or was. So people, at the end of the day, I just say, let better heads prevail. Do your job professionally. Do not agitate members of the JCF, members of the JDF. Because when they retaliate, and people, based on the videos that I saw, had this been in America, not only one, most of the people that would have been around, if this was some JDF or some American pawpaw, people would be gone, people would be hurt. It would not have been only one. And people, me just say, I am not saying who was wrong or who was right or who initiated it. Me just say, be very careful. Do not agitate somebody, especially when you see them with any sorts of tool, because based on the video that I have, this lady was saying, when you can't do me this, when you can't do him nothing, when you can't pie him up, when you can't lick him, when you can't kick him. And people, obviously, whenever you beat up people, whenever you agitate people and people, I am not saying that the agitation justified the JCF or the JDF-Soldier blaze up the man and take out the man, but me just say, we should not be surprised based on recent history. And people, like I always said, a wise man learn from his mistake. A wiser man learn from the mistakes of others. So therefore, we've seen the videos. We've heard on the news and social media what the results are usually whenever some sorts of confrontation with the JCF or the JDF and residents of any sorts of garrison. It is never to the advantage of the resident. It is always to the detriment of the residents, and more than likely this pie is going to be justified. More than likely, even if Indicom becomes involved, they are not going to get the proper information. They are going to get polar opposite information, one side from the JDF, one side from the residents. However, people like them say, there are always 2 to 3 sides to every story. The JDF, the residents, and the truth. Point blank and period. So anyways, people, that is my views on the whole thing as it pertains to that. And like me say, it is just my views and opinion. It is not the gospel. Your views and opinion can be respectfully different from mine. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Bless up.